Hello, everyone, and welcome back into another edition of the Hillside Club. I'm Rob Cardini, joined alongside James Martin. The third playoff season is officially underway in the NBA and NHL. It was an awesome first weekend of the playoffs in both of the respective leagues. I'm sure James and I got a lot of takes on that, but remember, no hot takes, just real ones. So, James, what are your thoughts of the weekend? Anything stand out to you so far?
Well, I mean, the NBA is back. I know it's been here the whole year, but the NBA is back. It's that simple. They just play so much harder. The refs call the game way more different. I mean, and then you look at playoff hockey, you kind of said it before. Every shift means something. It means more. I mean, you were at Flyers Penguins. Didn't go the way you wanted it for your Penguins, but I mean, how was it being in that atmosphere?
Oh, it was incredible. It was incredible. All week leading up to it, we're getting so many hockey edits sent to me by one of my cousins who I went with, and you could just feel as soon as everybody was in that building, you could feel just like the excitement and just the feeling of playoff hockey. I think is truly unmatched. It was an awesome time. The crowd was super into it. Unfortunately, did not go the way it needed to for the Penguins, but the atmosphere overall was just incredible. I don't think you can match the energy of playoff hockey. I really don't. The Penguins surely didn't match it on the ice.
I was going to say.
The Penguins did not play well in game one. Just didn't execute, whatsoever. Very, very sloppy play from them. I thought, Stuart Skinner did a good job of keeping them in the game, made some really nice saves that kind of kept the game at 1-0, then 2-1, but overall, just wasn't their night. Didn't have enough offensively, not nearly enough pucks towards the net. Both of their goals were off rebounds, so you'd think, that would be kind of the goal to just get more pucks on net. But you got to give credit to the Flyers. They came into the postseason hot. They stayed hot. Did a really good job in the neutral zone. If I'm the Penguins, you got to just come out firing in game two. Your back's really up against the wall now. Essentially, you can't lose two at home. Just absolutely cannot. So I don't know if they got to maybe switch up some line combinations. If they don't see any offense, within that first period, might be time to switch up some line combinations. But, until then, it's still game two. You win this game, everything's back to normal. So we'll see what happens game two tonight at 7.
I was going to say, I mean, Building clearly had playoff energy just watching that game. But it did feel like, I don't want to say it, but like the Flyers just wanted a little bit more that on Saturday night. I mean, you're going to expect the Penguins to come out flying around tonight in game two. I mean, I don't know. I just felt like, I don't know if you felt like this, but just a little bit too careless when it comes to possession.
Yeah, no,
right?
I mean, it's not a crazy take. You could even say what you said earlier. The Flyers looked like they just wanted it more. I mean, Evgeny Malkin for the Penguins, he said post game, the Penguins were playing nervous. Like they just did not play well. And maybe that's the case. So maybe they were a little nervous. They were a little jittery, weren't as clean with their entry passes, just, got too cute with it, not getting shots on net, looking for that extra pass, for, the best opportunity when sometimes, the better opportunity is just getting a puck on net, looking for a deflection or a rebound. So, like I said, in game two, that can just change it all. Maybe they, stay with the same strategy they had where, and just, fire more pucks on net, maybe just execute just a little bit better. And that strategy looks a hell of a lot better. But, it's not crazy to say the Flyers, want a little bit more. They did a really good job of just disrupting the Penguins and pretty much everything they wanted to do. But yeah, no, awesome. Still had an awesome time in Pittsburgh. Always good to see.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how's your opening day for Rob? Huh?
Back
on the scene.
Back on the scene. Yeah, warm weather. No, it was a good time. It's always fun going out in Pittsburgh with my cousins, and we always have a good time when we go out there.
I was gonna say, being out there for a game. Pittsburgh is one of those cities that just absolutely gets around their sports teams. Like they live and die that black and yellow for all three of those teams. They honestly need a basketball team. That'd be an amazing
I was
city to
in
see
there being in the arena. I was like thinking about that pregame because like you're in that arena and I'm like looking around. I was like, damn, like a basketball game would go crazy in here too. Like
it'd be like OKC almost. I feel like.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Yeah, like you said. I mean, if there's ever a city that loves their sports teams, it's Pittsburgh. Like when their teams are doing good, you could just feel like you walk around the city like before the game, like you can just feel like everybody's excited, everybody's happy, and when their teams lose, you can feel it as well. I don't know. I might have to ban myself though. I'm 0 for 2. I've lost the last 2 games I've gone to Pittsburgh for playoff games, Steelers and Penguins. They've lost both, so maybe I'm a jinx. I don't know what's going on, but win game 2 tonight. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm looking on Twitter. I mean, honestly, was it Skinner? Goaltender. It looks like he kept them in the game longer than they deserved to be. No, you think?
Yeah,
so?
yeah. No, there were like 3 different, like not like true one-on-one breakaways, like a little more of an angle for the Flyer player, but there were like 3 very high scoring chances for the Flyers where he made some great saves, and it was like you're kind of like holding your breath, like that feeling of like, hey, we better get one here because it looks like the Flyers are about to get one, and if we don't score, like it could be bad. So. Yeah, no, Skinner played well. The coach just announced that he will be in net again for game 2, which I'm happy they stuck with him. So we'll see what happens. But NBA, yeah, like you said, man, I know you brought up how, NBA playoffs, guys start playing hard again, and you really see some really good basketball. Yesterday's slate was kind of we got a couple blowouts, but still overall the basketball is better. Like that's a given this time of year.
I don't like how ever since the play-in became a thing and like that the day or two before the first round starts, like the 8th seed gets
1 and 8
games.
and 2-7 play on the same day.
I don't like that. Like, why are we getting the 2 higher seeds playing from each conference on Sunday? So it's like we're gonna get games that are blowouts. Luckily, we didn't because of that Pistons game. That was unreal. I
gotta ask you about that Pistons game. I gotta say, so do you think it's more about the Magic or do you think it's more about the Pistons? Like I feel like this is like an ESPN, like or like one of those talk shows you see online. Yeah. Did the Magic win or did the Pistons lose? Kind of feel.
I think it's an even level for both.
Okay.
Right. I think the biggest takeaway from this series for the Pistons and the Pistons fan base and that organization is they're going to need to pair Cade up with another scorer, another producer in the offense. I know it's tough. It doesn't come easy in the NBA when you're looking for a star, but Cade is that guy. He is a all NBA type player. He is a first team type guy. Like he will probably be a Hall of Famer by the end of his career. If they find a way to pair him up with another piece, I mean, they're going to be unstoppable. The thing about Duren is, as dominant as he is on the glass and as a big, he's not like a score first type of guy. No. You're not going to him for a bucket. Yes, he's an enforcer, and that's the type of stuff you need to win playoff games and win big games. But he's not going to give you the production you need. He's not a score off the dribble type of guy, right?
They brought it up on the broadcast about how even last year in the playoffs when he had that great series versus the Knicks, he only averaged 11 points in that series. So he was dominant in that series, it felt like, but only 11 points. Like you said, they got to get another score. I mean, Thompson's not, not scoring enough.
Great piece.
Yeah, they have a really, really good team. Like I'm still shocked they lost yesterday. To lose, I mean, I don't know. You could look at it both ways. They had rest. To lose at home with rest. You could also look at it from the perspective of the Magic came in hot, off a big win. So do you look at it from that angle of like they came in hot? I don't know. I mean, nonetheless, you're still the 1 seed at home, losing, the first game. It's a little bit of a scare.
On the flip side, so I said it's a little bit of an even, it's a win for the Magic and a lose for the Pistons. But like, now you look at the Pistons or the Magic, it felt like Paolo Banchero realized that he was 6'10", 250, right? Like, this is what we've been asking out of him. I know I get on him a little bit just because, you see online on Twitter the comparisons between C.J. Stroud and Paolo Banchero, how they were like such great like high talents coming out of the draft, and then they just find ways to not play at that level. But I get on Paolo. He's only 23 years old. He's the same age as us, right? Like this, he will develop into a better player. I just think when he takes the ball downhill and realizes that he is unstoppable just because of his size, this is what we get out of him, right? I mean, the Pistons shot twice as many free throws as the Magic did, right? The Pistons shot 38 free throws. The Magic shot 19. And they still lost by 10 with getting nearly a 40 ball out of Cade Cunningham. That's kind of scary if I'm a Pistons fan. The Pistons haven't won a home playoff game since 2008. So if I'm a Pistons fan, I'd kind of get scared because you give a team that type of confidence early in a playoff series, I don't know. It's hard to come back from.
Yeah, it felt like the Magic just had like an answer for everything. It didn't feel like a fluke kind of game. Like the Pistons. I mean, I would have to double check this, but I mean, it didn't feel like it was one of those games where the Pistons couldn't get anything to fall, and their star had a bad game. Like you said, Cade almost goes for 40. They double their free throws. Usually, you double a team of free throws, you get basically 40 from your best player. There's a good chance you're winning that game, but it felt like the Magic always had an answer. Even, I think at one point, the Pistons had cut it to like 3 late in the fourth quarter, and then sure enough, the Magic go on like a little 7-0 run of their own. Wagner hit some big-time shots. Like, I don't know. Like, they looked like they were just well-rounded, and it almost kind of looked like they were cool with saying, you know what, like, Cade, go ahead and beat us. Mm-hmm. Everybody else, go get your 40. Someone else is going to have to beat us. And I don't know, it kind of worked because, I mean, I don't know, Cade dropped 39. It felt like every time the Magic came back down the court, they were cool with it, be aggressive. And I don't know, it is a little worrisome for the Pistons.
Yeah, they're just asking Cade to do everything. Like, and that's not going to win you a championship. The thing is, I think about the Magic is, I think the key for them going forward is if Jalen Suggs stays out of foul trouble, they can genuinely win this series. That's the number one thing, though.
Yeah,
I mean, he fouled out again last night, and he fouled out the game before against the Hornets. If he stays out of foul trouble, because he's a spark type of guy. Yeah. He's like a Josh Hart for the Knicks. Like, he can score off the dribble. He can pass. He's going to crash the boards. If he stays out of foul trouble, this could be dangerous for the Pistons. And I don't know. I mean, I
don't know. It's one of those things. Once again, Pistons, they respond at home in game 2. A lot of they could probably respond with a blowout win. Everyone's going to just shut up.
Exactly.
So, but that's how the NBA goes. A couple other blowouts, Celtics and Thunder. I don't know. It's you watch those games. It's like, how are those two teams not going to be playing for the national title, for the NBA title in a couple of weeks? Celtics look scary. The Thunder are the Thunder at this point. I'm not really expecting the Suns to give them much of a series anyway. Bubble Wrap Shea did his thing again yesterday.
I got to speak on that.
But
I don't want to be that guy that just continues to speak about Shea and his play style, but his whistle, even in the playoffs, is one of the most aggravating things to watch ever. Like, I understand that he's a prolific scorer, right?
Yeah.
But he went out there 5 for 18 from the field. He shot 17 damn free throws. 0 for 4 from 3. Like, it kind of gets exhausting to watch. We talk about the Duke whistle during March Madness and how irritating that was. Watching SGA play basketball, sometimes I want to rip my hair out. Like, as good as that Thunder team is, it's just like, and he's good at what he does. Again, I don't get on him because he knows how to manipulate that whistle. That takes a skill in itself. But as a viewer, that it is annoying and irritating to watch. But the Suns are unserious right now. I used to think Devin Booker was one of the best players in the NBA, which he really is, but he refuses to leave that city. So I don't know. I feel like they are in almost like NBA purgatory. Like, they're about to get into that.
Know. They don't. I mean, listen. I don't know. Their roster, that's not a championship level roster. I don't know. They had their shot. They blew it. I don't know if. I mean, they've blown it up 2 different times.
Exactly.
Like, with Booker there. I'm not going to say Booker's the problem because I don't think he is. Like, I'm not going to go as far as saying you can't win, while trying to build around him, because I think you can. They show that they almost did if it weren't for DeAndre Ayton being a bum, but I don't know. They're like you said, NBA purgatory to the max.
Because they're not a lottery pick, but they're gonna get bounced first round, and then they're gonna be right back to where they were last year, unless they make some incredible move where they again trade a bunch of role guys to bring in a star, and then they're not gonna have enough pieces. It keeps happening.
I think Giannis would be an interesting guy to have with them. I think a Booker Giannis combo would be a great combo for them. I don't think Jalen Green is that guy. Dalen Brooks is a nice piece, but to have him be your 2 or 3, it's not ideal. So I don't know, but they're kind of done. Then a couple other games, maybe more interesting series, if you will. Nuggets, they handle the T-Wolves in game 1. I don't know, man. I love Anthony Edwards. Absolutely love him. I think he is, he's got potential to be face of the league. That swagger he brings, confidence he brings. But I don't know. Depending on how this series goes, it might be time to have a conversation, because I feel like everyone's still kind of holding on to that one playoff series 2 years ago when he took KD down. I don't know. Like, listen, Ant, he has his moments where it's like he goes on these little runs in games, and it's like, yeah, okay, Ant is still that dude. But I feel like the past couple times they've lost in these playoff series, we've seen some tough performances from Ant. Like, not, I don't know. I don't know. The jury's still out on Ant because everybody gets caught up in the hype, no doubt. And I understand it. But at a certain point, it's got to be like, hey, you got to really rise and you got to go make an NBA finals because they're running back the same teams essentially every year. They believe in the roster they have. So,
yeah, I mean, hey, he's 24 years old, but he's been in the league since he was 19.
Yeah.
And that's been his team for the last 3 or 4 years now. I don't know. There's a moment there at the end of the game where they're down by 10 and like Ant's all smiles and laughing, like that they're good. Me personally, like if I'm a Wolves fan, it's not something I'd like to see. Like for the Knicks, I wouldn't want to see us laughing and everything's sweet down 10 in a road playoff game 1. But that's just the type of guy Ant is, and I don't know if that's good or bad for what the Timberwolves are trying to do. However, you're right. It's going to start. That conversation is going to start very soon. It's like at some point he has to go from being all right, he's the next guy up to he's now that guy, and that's the same stuff we're seeing out of Wembanyama.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Wembanyama is 22 years old, same age as us, and he's just a finalist for an MVP, which is ridiculous. But like I know that team, the Timberwolves team, isn't built, I think, to a championship standard, but they have a championship standard type of guy in Anthony Edwards. And when they're building around him, I feel like once he gets in that mode of, hey, I'm going to lead this team to the promised land, I think nothing's stopping him. But right now, it's like Jokic on the other side, like he doesn't dominate the game. He kind of just solves them for the Nuggets. Like he almost averaged a triple-double this year. I believe he went off for 25, 13, and 11 in that victory on Saturday. Like, Jokic, he finds his way back to the NBA Finals. That'd be extraordinary. But, this Anthony Edwards, this Timberwolves team, I don't know.
Maybe it's more of a team problem because I'm looking at it through the lens of like, obviously, what was it, 2024? They're in the Western Conference Finals versus the Timberwolves, right? That was the Western Conference Finals?
I believe so.
Yeah. And they come up short in that series.
That 2024, that was the Mavericks. No?
Who did I say?
Timberwolves. Or
Timberwolves. Nuggets. Oh, Nuggets. Yeah. I meant Mavs, yes, when Luka when they went to the finals. So, yeah. So, I meant, okay, so Timberwolves, Mavs, they come up short there. Then last year, 4-1 to the Thunder, they lose. So, and then now this year, it's like, okay, you're going up Nuggets, like, and it's like, I understand they're playing good teams. Like, Mavericks made the NBA title that year. Okay, the Thunder obviously won it all last year. This year, the Nuggets look really good, but like that's the case of the playoffs. And it's more so maybe looking through the lens of like they're willing to run back these same rosters and teams. Like, they're confident. So if Ant's going to be that one, then he has to step up in these games. So we'll see how he responds in game 2. I don't know. The Nuggets are just still so good. Like the Nuggets could go win another ring this year. They got that kind of feel to them.
The thing they're saying about Anthony Edwards is he's got this runner's knee and he was questionable for game 1. So, all right, hopefully he's more healthy now for game 2. But yeah, you said the Nuggets. I mean, the Nuggets gave the Thunder a good series last year. I believe that went 7, right?
Yeah.
Like they went 7 with the NBA champions from last year. So they are right back where they want to be. I think they are another team that could win it all.
I think it's 13 straight now for the Nuggets that they've won.
Yeah. No, so that's
both.
Their last 30 games, I saw the record. I think they lost like 2 games in their last 30 games. So
yeah,
unreal for them. And then
we didn't forget about it, guys. Don't worry. We didn't forget about it. Oh, my gosh, Mr. 41-year-old. He takes down the Rockets in game 1 with no Luka, no AR. Oh, my gosh. Miss me with all that, man.
I mean, hey, LeBron, he is just – it is timeless. I mean, like, he didn't –
No, it's impressive.
It's like he controlled a game at 40 years old. And I've seen, like, this thing on X and, like, Twitter. It's like I guess they were talking about, like, Magic Johnson or whatnot, like, your GOAT regressed into Jerry Stackhouse, and my GOAT regressed into a veteran Magic Johnson, which is like, I see it. Like, I do get that. But the Rockets, we got to talk about them because they are kind of a great story. Like, I don't understand. They don't execute anything in the half court. I think that starts with because they don't have a point guard out there.
Yeah.
But it's a terrible watch. And I know KD's not out there and this team may not be up to championship standards, but Kevin Durant is the leader on this team. Some people think, hey, this actually helps his legacy because he's been able to carry such a mid team. And me on the flip side, I think it hurts his legacy because, again, when you are the 1A guy on a team, they just seem to fall flat. And I don't know. I know he got hurt in practice with a knee contusion or a leg contusion, and he wasn't able to go. But I don't know, man. It really did just feel like JV-ish.
I don't know. I mean, listen, again, all credit to LeBron. To lead that team to a Game 1 victory is impressive, but if you're the Rockets, like, this is just pathetic. I know KD wasn't out there, but you still have your other guys. Like, Van Vliet hasn't played all year. So there's no excuse, you don't have Van Vliet. Oh, you don't got like another guy who can, kind of run the point when things get tough. Like, it's just a terrible look. Like, Şengün, I don't know what I was watching. I mean, Thompson, there's just, I don't know. There's just too many question marks that should not be there. Like, for a team to just, and again, it's not like we're talking about, oh, KD didn't play and they lost to the Lakers, who have Luka and AR. No, neither of them played. Like, you still got to beat the Lakers without KD. I don't know. I thought it was just a pathetic showing from the Rockets. I mean, the box score, I saw it on Twitter for them. It was atrocious. That some of the shooting just statistics from them were so bad. I'm looking at it right now. Jabari Smith, 5 of 14. Şengün, 6 of 19. Thompson, 7 of 18. Reed Shepherd, 6 of 20. Like, I mean, geez. You're not going to win a game shooting like that, but
terrible, man.
I don't know. It wasn't good, but I guess once again, credit to LeBron. You got to give him credit. Him and he had 13 assists. I saw people were getting on him about how, like, basically half of the assists weren't really assists. It was just, pass to a guy who then went and created his own shot. But that's how they count assists in the NBA. I mean, I don't really have a problem with, LeBron getting the credit. That's just how they call it. If you look at a lot of assists, I mean, the same goes. This was a narrative about Jokic earlier this year in one of his big time games where, like, some of these assists are like, they're not really assists. It's just, how the play developed and then another guy went and got his own shot. I don't know, but interesting series. Now, I'm assuming KD will be back for Game 2 because
he's better because Luka will be back for Game 3, and Luka's injury is far worse than what KD's dealing with. So, I mean, I know everybody's different, but, like, let's go. It's the playoffs. What are we doing? I don't know.
19 and 11 from 8 and 2. That's
the front court for the Lakers really showed out.
That's exactly what they need.
Out. They did. So, hey.
You know what? Not enough talk about Luke Kennard. Not enough talk about Luke Kennard. Someone's got to talk about it. I mean, 27 points, 5 from 3. Even down the stretch, we know with Luka and Reeves out, like, he's been stepping up big time. And, like, everybody, of course, I guess rightfully so, all the attention goes to LeBron, but Kennard's stepping up. So
that's what you need in the playoffs. Though.
Yeah, you need your role players.
The guys got to step up. It can't be, just the stars go at it. No, guys around, that lineup on the floor have to show out. So
winner of this series plays
Thunder.
Yeah.
Oh, so I don't know. Whoever wins this series, it's over. Yeah. Regardless, but even so, we want to watch. I want to watch 230,000 point scorers go at it. So KD, please, just for younger me, I want to watch Bron KD a full series. And then, they get Luka back most likely for Game 3. I don't know. I mean, you kind of called it last episode. This could be a series that the Lakers just absolutely handle the Rockets with ease. Because, I don't know, the Rockets just look out of sorts right now.
To me, it's less about the Lakers and just more about the Rockets falling short. Yeah. That's just how I feel about this series.
So,
but
we got Raptors, Cavs tonight, which I think that series will be a sweep. And then we got Timberwolves, Nuggets at the late game, and then we got the Knicks and the Hawks going on for Game 2. Game 1, the Knicks, they look solid. I don't have a lot to complain about. I don't think I have much to complain about. I just don't like how Karl-Anthony Towns started off a little slow. But I did see a clip on X earlier today that after that knee happened, or that foot to the groin area on Brunson and by McCollum, they're shooting the flagrant free throws to start the half in the second half, and you see Rick Brunson kind of go over to Jalen Brunson and say, hey, like, let Cat take these free throws. And he did. And after he took those free throws, he kind of started to facilitate and play like the Karl Anthony Towns we know he can. And that was great. Hey, man, if the Knicks come out with that same intensity every game, right? Like, we always talk about it with Brunson. Everybody's always better than Jalen Brunson until it's time to be better than Jalen Brunson, and he proves them wrong. But he's the type of guy that's going to control this series, right? The tempo of the series. I know they're throwing Dyson Daniels at him. But my hot take about him, or I should say real take because there's no hot ones on this podcast, but he's kind of a liability for the Hawks right now. You have him on the floor, and the Knicks are going to keep throwing screens at him to get the switch because he is a great defender. He is a first-team all-defense type of guy. But on the flip side, on the offensive side of the ball, he is such a liability out there. They are throwing Karl Anthony Towns on him because they know he's not going to do anything off the dribble, and he can't shoot from three. I believe he shoots 20% from the three-point line, which is, as a guard in today's NBA,
yeah, that's insane.
You're taking up a score-first position like that. It's not good. So, yeah, I mean, the Knicks will live with giving him as many shots as they can. C.J. McCollum looked great. Johnson looked great. Nickeil Alexander-Walker kind of struggled, and I think if he gets it going, this series can be more interesting. But honestly, I mean, the Knicks, they look
solid.
Yeah, they look solid.
They look solid. Jalen Brunson's one of the greatest playoff risers we've ever seen in the history of basketball.
Exactly.
I'm just going to say it. I have no problem saying it. It's just the truth. Every time the playoffs roll around and there's criticism about Jalen Brunson, the guy just steps up. I mean, what was it, 19 first-quarter points yesterday? Or 2 days ago?
Yeah.
I mean, like, to get off to that hot of a start, I mean, every shot was just so smooth, so chicken. And, it kind of allowed for, Cat to have a slower start. And then Cat stepped up late. And I don't know, we've said it so many times on this show, just when Cat gets going, that's when the Knicks are at their best. And when Cat started getting aggressive in the second half, you just kind of see the whole team starts to feed off of it.
Exactly.
And that's the Knicks team that you're like, you know what? They can make a run. But when he's not, it's like they're probably going to lose to the Celtics, no doubt, because the Celtics look really good. But then Cat starts getting aggressive. It's like, here we go. And it's like they are as deep as they've ever been. Like, they have, a lot of depth, scoring off the bench. They didn't really get it from game one, which is okay because they ended up winning anyway. But I don't know. Another thing I wanted to just point about that game is teams got to stop acting like Mitchell Robinson is a liability on defense, like a guard, I should say. Obviously, they know that Mitch is a great defender, but guards think they see Mitchell Robinson get switched on him. They think that it's gonna be easy. No. Mitchell Robinson is like that. He guards 1 through 5 basically on defense. It's truly incredible that he can.
You know what I think that is? I think that's almost like an old school, like, dated thing in the NBA where you get a big on you, and all right, you're looking your chops. Like, all right, you got a mismatch, right? So you got a big who's got to guard 30, 40 feet away from the hoop. Let's do it. But no, in today's NBA, it's no longer like that. These bigs are athletic. It's not like the 80s and the 90s where a small guard is you're guarding him and he goes right by you, right? Unless you're Rudy Gobert. I've never seen a defensive player of the year literally get sought out in defensive mismatches. I'll never understand that. But here, my 4 takeaways from this Knicks game. All right, the Knicks clearly showed that their clutch rating in the NBA, top 5 in the NBA, means something.
Yeah.
When they're leading going into the fourth quarter, I think they were 40-2 this year. That's amazing. The Knicks, offensive efficiency jumps. It jumps when Brunson's on the floor. I love it. And to see that backup unit almost, I feel like going a few runs without Brunson on the floor was amazing. You got guys like Jordan Clarkson, who's honestly completely transitioned who he is as a player to be on this Knicks team and to get back in the rotation. He's become a scrappy offensive rebound type of guy, which I love. Yeah. At his age and as a veteran like that, to be able to just, change who you are as a player for a role, that speaks volumes of who you are as a player. Cat, double-digit fourth quarter. Incredible. And then my 4th one is Mike Brown. I know this is not going to hurt us in this series, But sometimes he makes substitutions that I just don't understand. When the guys like Shamit, McBride are going on runs like they did in the second quarter or like they did in the fourth quarter, and then he makes a substitution to bring back in the starters, and then you see the other team go on a run because you just killed the momentum. I don't understand it. This won't hurt us that much versus the Hawks as it will when you play a team like the Celtics or if we make the Eastern Conference Final. But sometimes you got to, go with the hot hand. Deuce McBride hit 2 threes in that game in the fourth quarter, and then you see the Knicks go up by 20, and then he brings in the starters, and then out of nowhere, the lead gets cut to 10 at the end of the game. I mean, yes, it doesn't hurt us in this series.
Yeah.
But it might in the future. I don't know. I don't like when coaches do that and, guys are clearly on a roll and they make a substitution.
Yeah.
But, hey, whatever.
It's tough just because, that was the knock on Tibbs for a while. It was like, his rotations weren't that great. He would just live and die with his starters, very reluctant to kind of switch things up. And then when you get Mike Brown, you're kind of saying, hey, you know what? This is kind of what the team needs. He's more offensive minded. So when you're looking at stuff like that, it's kind of concerning, but still, nonetheless, great first weekend of NBA playoffs. We'll go back to the puck before heading over to the NFL draft. Yeah. That was, me personally, I thought that was the better, sport of the weekend. I'm also just an NHL playoffs guy till I die. But it was just an incredible weekend of hockey. There's obviously, those 1 versus 8s in the NBA, even 2 7s. You kind of feel like, it's
not the same.
Are those can those teams win? In the NHL, every single team feels like, they got a shot at winning their series. Tampa Bay, Montreal was my game of the weekend. Absolutely insane. Back and forth. You get an OT winner. That series probably goes 7 games based off game 1. Fans in Buffalo were absolutely insane. I mean, they were ready for playoff hockey. And what an incredible game it was. I mean, Tage Thompson turns into Superman late in the third period, gets 2 quick goals. Then they get another goal. Crowd's going absolutely berserk. So what a win for the Sabres. And if you don't watch playoff hockey, because a lot of people, smaller audience hockey is. And if you're not tuned in to playoff hockey, go watch the last 4 minutes of the Sabres-Bruins game and then come back to me and say you're not enticed and don't want to watch it. So, I don't know. It was absolutely an insane first weekend of hockey. Some pressure on teams to get to even the series at home now, but, playoff hockey.
That's what sports are supposed to feel like, right? Like, that's why we love this stuff, because you get moments like that at the end of the year. But you said it. Like, in the NHL, I believe 8 seeds upset the number 1 seed 30% of the time.
Yeah.
Which is unreal, but it adds a different aspect to hockey and the playoffs, where you do feel like every team has a chance, because they literally do. It's shown in history, unlike the NBA. And then just these OT games, you talked about Tage Thompson, and that game, that wasn't even just a comeback. It was just clear chaos. I went back and watched it. That was an amazing watch. I'm pretty sure there was a moment in that game where, the win probability was low for the Sabres,
no doubt.
Very low.
Yeah,
and you just see, like you said, Thompson, he almost turns like a superhero. That building, you look at those clips. I'm scrolling up and down X. It was rocking.
Yeah,
rocking. Only New York team to make the playoffs. I don't even consider Buffalo a New York team. I call them a Canadian team because, upstate New York is basically Canada. But don't tell that to somebody from Buffalo. They'd love to mix in Buffalo teams with New York sports. No, it's a whole different thing. But hey, whatever. But no, honestly, I love NHL playoffs. I don't watch nearly enough regular season hockey, even with the Rangers. But when it comes to the playoffs, and if they are in the playoffs, I'm glued to my seat. And yes, that makes me a casual, but hockey wasn't one of my first sports to watch. But it's become something that I've actually loved to watch, especially come playoff time. So, like I said, that's what sports is supposed to feel like.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I just think about playoff hockey. I just start smiling. I'm not even kidding. It's just
real.
It's so incredible. You literally turn on any game. You don't have to be a fan of the team. You don't have to even know who's on the team. You don't have to know the seeding. You just get a feel for the game. I mean, for a perfect example, Sabres, Bruins. Sabres are the 1 seed. Bruins were wild card 1. So you're kind of thinking, okay, Sabres at home, they'll probably come out flying. They should win this game. Sure enough, they're down 2-0 with 4 minutes to play. And then, the Sabres go on an absolutely incredible run. Like, that's what playoff hockey is just all about. And, these next 2 months of playoff hockey and playoff basketball is some of the best stretches in sports. So really excited. But yeah, some pressure on Pittsburgh, Dallas, and Tampa, all to even the series at home. We talked about it a little bit earlier, even in the NBA. You lose both home games, you got some serious uphill work to do. But that was NHL. I guess now we'll get into the NFL draft, which is coming up this week, which is also our, basically our clubhouse call out of the week. I think it was it? Who called? Someone called it out last week.
Lucas Granito.
Yeah, Lucas Granito. He was asked for it last week. We said we'll do it this week, just kind of based off timing. Before we just get into our actual draft thoughts, did want to bring up some NFL news. Now it's being reported that the Eagles and Patriots are working on a deal to get A.J. Brown sent over to New England, which that's a blockbuster move. It's not being talked about like that just because it actually hasn't happened yet. And, it's just rumor that the teams are working on a deal and it'll be finalized, I think, after June 1st is what they said. I think that's when he would go over to New England. But that's insane. It really is insane to me. Whatever is going on in Philly, I think Stephen A. Smith said this. I don't have inside sources there. I don't know what the relationship between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown is like, so I can't speak on that. But for a team to have won a Super Bowl 2 years ago, and calendar-wise, it's not 2 years, but
2 seasons.
2 seasons ago, and be in the playoffs again last year, have a good roster for your number one receiver who's getting paid over $100 million to not want to be there, essentially. And there's always question marks. And now it's getting rumored that he is going to get traded to another team and team back up with Mike Vrabel. That's so crazy to me how this actually all went down.
Yeah, I mean, great move for the Patriots. I mean, a lot of news coming out of that organization these past 2 weeks. But I don't know. I mean, A.J. Brown has been pretty adamant about, wide receivers and how they make their money, right? He spoke about it a lot, and he says, quarterback, they make their money by winning games. Receiver, they make their money just solely on their production. If they lose a game and they go for 7 or 8 catches and 100 yards and whatnot, the receiver is looked at as, it's a great player moving forward. And he's been adamant about that online, and he always talks about it. And he's getting that opportunity if this trade goes through to the Patriots. And I think it's great for Drake May. They replace Stephon Diggs.
I don't love it.
But I don't know. The Eagles, I don't understand it. I really don't understand what the hell is going on over there myself. I've never seen just a crash like this. You go from the highs of all highs in the NFL, winning the Super Bowl, and then it felt like within the first 5 weeks of the season, you look online, Eagles fans are just tearing this team up. And I know everyone's talking about the offensive coordinator, and they just didn't love the way the offense looked all year. But something is clearly not right in that building, right? Just from the outside looking in. And like you said, we don't have sources. But every week it felt like this past season, something's coming out of that organization, or something was wrong, or fans were angry. And I don't know. I mean, I guess good for A.J. Brown, though. If he gets to get the opportunity with a quarterback, a young quarterback like Drake May, who's, clearly got the arm talent. I don't know. Yeah, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't love the move. I don't think it's a good move for the Patriots. But really? It could all change, just because when I look at the Patriots and kind of that system that they run with McDaniels, there's never that one main guy. You always think about kind of just everybody fits their role, everybody does their job, they don't complain about it. Look at last year. They had a team that made the Super Bowl, and it's Mac Hollins out there, wide receiver. It's Keyshawn Boutte. It's the little tight end duo. Hunter Henry played really well. That's the kind of vibe you get from that team. Now, if A.J. Brown goes there, he's much happier that he's playing, under Mike Vrabel again, and Vrabel's kind of able to hone him in, and he's willing to accept a role. That's great. So maybe he becomes a lot more positive. But this is a guy that, like you said, he has kind of stated how wide receivers make their money when they produce. Mm-hmm. They've won a Super Bowl. He says that he didn't even feel really fulfilled after winning the Super Bowl, which that's the kind of a different conversation, because, that's like Scotty Scheffler said, he's been at the top of the golf board. You're not truly fulfilled as a person. But I think A.J. Brown kind of meant more of it as an athlete.
Yeah.
You know, they've been a 10-win team, and the narrative surrounding the Eagles is, well, AJ Brown isn't getting enough touches. And, you know, the media, I don't know if that's, you know, you could say that's just the media making it, but AJ Brown certainly doesn't help in those interviews that when, you know, when it's time for press conferences and stuff. It's not like he's making it any easier. So I don't know if he can go to New England and kind of just be like, oh, if he's okay with games where he's only got, you know, 3 catches for 40 yards, but the team gets a win, that's great. But if it's the same old, you know, I'm not getting, you know, 10 plus targets a game and he's getting frustrated, I don't know. I just don't feel like that's the vibe they got going for them in New England. Obviously, they needed a better wide receiver one, a guy that, you know, it's third down and Drake May can just go to him no matter what at the sticks. But I don't know. I think it's just a questionable deal. I don't know. It's a crazy deal nonetheless, but we'll see if it actually goes through. Now on to the NFL draft. You know, we'll both give our picks, you know, not official picks, but, you know, our pick talk for both of our teams, Steelers and Giants. I just kind of want to talk about the draft a little bit. Obviously, looks like Mendoza will be the number 1 overall pick. Shout out Mendoza. I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on him. I also don't think he's going to a great a great situation out there in Vegas, and kind of just like how Genti did, and you know he's kind of thrown into the fire. Not a good O-line, so we'll see what they do and how they can build around him. To me, it's more so about like the defensive monsters in this draft. I mean, you got guys like Ruben Bain, Arvell Reese, Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles. I mean, there are some dogs out there this year defensively. I know you might have the Giants, you know, taking one of those defensive players.
Hell yeah. I mean, seeing a lot of different things coming out of New York sports media this week. I mean, the mock drafts are getting out of hand at this point. It's like everything is, I don't know. So the Giants now have the 10th pick after trading Dexter Lawrence, and we saw the Bengals actually gave him an extension. I believe it was $20 million. And I'll say this. For one, Dexter Lawrence, he's one of my favorite Giants of all time. He's like a true Giant. He stayed even when things weren't, you know, going his way. But you don't replace a guy like Dexter. You got to survive losing him. And I think they did. They went and got the 10th pick, where a lot of Bengals fans were not happy with them giving up that 10th pick. But I think the news coming out of the Bengals organization was they weren't going to be really aggressive with that pick, and they want to be aggressive now with their team and with Joe Burrow's prime, right? So I don't know. I mean, I feel like this draft kind of defines the Giants for the next 5 years, right? New coach, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. I mean,
second-year QB,
second-year quarterback. I'm seeing a lot of different things. You see, you know, are they going to pick Jeremiah Love? I've seen if he's still there at the pick 5, that they're going to pick him. Or I've also seen, hey, we can pair up Downs and Sonny Styles, which I love that idea too. I think the defense needs to be addressed. I mean, you look at you lose a guy like Dexter. I know they're supposedly going to sign veteran DJ Reader, who just, I think, last played for the Lions this past year. After the draft, but that's not going to get it done, right? Like, you're going to have to somehow work, I guess, not fix the box, but address the box with this draft, right? A lot of people think, you know, do you go get the DB out of LSU? I believe his name is Mansour Delane. You know, at 10. You look at our secondary, which I think is mid, right? Paulson Adebo, who just like a middle-level type of DB, right? Greg Newsome, solid, but he's not going to be the answer. And then Drew Phillips, who is great at the nickel, but he was the most flagged DB in the NFL last year. Yeah. As good as he can be, that's not going to cut it, right? So I can understand we go get a DB. That you need a lockdown corner, a guy like that who also will be able to challenge your star receiver in Malik Neighbors on the other side. You know, iron sharpens iron. And that's one thing a lot of people don't talk about, but that type of stuff creates stars. And then you look at, I guess, I saw Jalen Tyson as well. The Giants picking a receiver to put on the other side of Malik Neighbors is great for Jackson Dart and great for the offensive scheme. But I think that this draft needs to be addressed first with the defense, right? Like that's what it's got to be. It's got to be some sort of combination of Caleb Downs or Sonny Styles. And if you want to pick an offensive guy, or you pick the DB and one of those Ohio State guys. I love the idea of getting both of them. I just don't think it's realistic. But hey, man, I mean,
I know.
they also have the 37th pick.
Yeah,
which is
we talk about 3 picks in the top 40. That's changed your franchise stuff.
exactly.
Really give you a boost, chance to go make the playoffs now. So I don't know. I love it. I love the Dexter Lawrence trade for the Giants. I really do. I think that obviously he's been a staple for them defensively. In the trenches, but he's been on a little bit of a decline. It's not like it's crazy to say that, and to have the 5th and the 10th pick, if I'm the Giants, I think you just go with the 2 best available players on the defensive side of the football. I'm not going to say overall because that probably leaves Jeremiah Love out there. Mm-hmm. That might leave Tyson. To me, like you said, I think the Giants got to go defensively. You talk about, now you got to address the box, get a linebacker. Because I think, defensive line-wise, I think they have guys, maybe Thibodeau or Burns slides a little more inside, slides inside sometimes on certain, rush packages that they have. Because, Carter's a little bit smaller than both of those guys.
Yeah,
he's a true, true edge rusher kind of guy. So, but you know what? Maybe you have some looks where Burns is going to line up over center. Maybe it's Thibodeau coming in there. I don't know. You got to get creative that way. So I think you get a linebacker, and then you got to get some help on the back end. They were just getting torched too much. But
exactly,
I think they're in a great position. To have 2 picks, 5 and 10, like don't trade back. Use those picks. Get the best guys. As for the Steelers. God, man, it's just a headache with this team sometimes. I don't know. I mean, everything seems to go like, okay, draft's about to come around. They'll know what they'll need. And now there's reports that there's absolutely no word. This morning, there's a report on no word on Rodgers before the draft, and none is expected before the draft. And their starting left tackle, Broderick Jones, who was finally playing a little bit better, moved back to his left tackle side where he played in college. He had a setback with his neck injury, which is obviously very serious. So, you want the best for him. Make sure he heals, take as much time as you need. But now you have a question about, is he even going to be back in time for the season? Is he going to be able to play at his, full potential because of the neck injury? So now the Steelers have a bunch more question marks, the week right before the draft. Left guard was already a topic of conversation for them and maybe addressing it in the draft as a whole. So now the whole left side of the offensive line becomes a question for the Steelers potentially in this year's draft. If it's me, though, I'm still taking a wide receiver with the first pick. I just think that even with DK and getting Pittman in the offseason, they need youth and they need a youth playmaker at the wide receiver position. We saw them take some shots with Calvin Austin and Roman Wilson, and the jury's still out on Roman Wilson. I think he can still be like a very nice slot piece, but in a better true NFL offense, not dink and dunk. But if it's me, it's Malachi Lemon. I think he's an absolute stud at wide receiver. He might be gone before the Steelers have a chance to get him. I don't know if they'll have to trade up. If it's not him, I'd love Denzel Boston out of Washington. But the Steelers GM Omar Khan, he's got a trend. So past 3 drafts, every time their round 1 pick has had a pre-draft visit with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that leaves 6 guys this year. Spencer Fano, who was an offensive tackle out of Utah. I should know how to pronounce his name because I went to Penn State, but I'll live the Vega, Ione. Yeah. I don't know. The guard from Penn State, he had a visit. Malachi Lemon had a visit. Denzel Boston had a visit. Chris Johnson, cornerback from San Diego State, and Emmanuel McNeil Warren, safety out of Toledo. So chances are it's one of those 6 guys. I don't know if this recent news kind of changes things for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I pray to God they don't take a swing at a round 1 quarterback. I'll absolutely freak out. If I see Ty Simpson at 20, I might not show up for the next episode.
You are
of the Hillside
a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Yeah, no, I'm good off that. That's going to give me flashbacks to when they drafted Kenny, but terrible draft pick. But no, just give me a wide receiver. Give me a wide receiver, and I'll be happy.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I mean, honestly didn't make my pick for the Giants. I think a little bit
harder when you got 2, though.
I think the number 1 option there is you go, if they're available, if this is possible, you go Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs. I think that's what you do, right? The Giants gave up 5 double-digit fourth-quarter leads in the 2025 season. The defense has got to be addressed, right? I think that's the number 1 thing you do. And I think if you're going to pick an offensive guy, I think you go with a receiver at 10 with Tyson, and then you still pick Sonny Styles if he's there at 5. The thing about everyone's talking about Jeremiah Love. I think the Giants are fine. I don't know I don't know what you're going to get out of Scatterboo. I know he had a pretty tough injury, but we act like,
it's an injury that you can come back from.
Yeah.
Also, he's not their running back one,
You got Tyrone Tracy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You already have
running back. He can play in the catch game as well. So I don't know. I feel like we got to relax. We got a little depth at the running back position. It would be nice to have Jeremiah Love, but I just don't think it's a pick
I don't think it's a fit for the Giants, because I don't want to go as far as saying it would be a mistake if the Giants drafted Jeremiah Love, because I personally believe Jeremiah Love is the best player in this year's draft. I think Jeremiah Love is the kind of guy that can literally change your franchise.
Yeah.
If obviously all running backs need a decent O-line to run behind. You look at Genty. I mean, he was one of the best running backs we've seen in college in recent history. He goes to a terrible team with a terrible O-line, and he's getting hit behind the line of scrimmage almost every other play, it seems. So obviously you need the offensive line, but Jeremiah Love, he's that dude. Like, I truly think, if the right team gets him, could be major problems for a lot of teams. Like, I don't know. I just think about how before they made the trade for Kenneth Walker, I thought to myself, if the Chiefs go out and get Jeremiah Love, like, that could legitimately put them over the edge, finally get a real RB1. They went and got Kenneth Walker. Then your mind starts thinking about, imagine Jeremiah Love in the Seattle offense, like stuff like that. I don't know. Like, I'm so high on Jeremiah Love. I hope the right team gets him, gives him a good O-line, and he will be absolutely great for them. Also, one last thing about the draft. Maybe James feels the same way. We talked a little bit about it off camera. We're not going to give you guys like a full round one mock. I will never release a full blown mock. At least I don't think, because I'm not a professional scout. I didn't play football at a high level to truly know every little minor detail about things. I watch a lot of football, but I don't watch thousands of hours of film. And if I made a mock, it would just be looking at like a lot of people out here, I think, that are making mocks, they're looking at what are the general consensus. I don't need to give you guys another general consensus. I'll talk about my team, what I think is great for them. I don't want to give you guys a round one mock where it's like, okay, let me look at McShay. Let me look at Mel Kiper. Look at this one, Jeremiah. And then it's like, okay, then I'll just kind of mix it all together based off what I think would be the best pick for that team. So no full-blown mock from us, I don't think. But, we'll talk about our team.
I gave you my picks. That's as good as it's going to get. I will say the Giants end up picking Jeremiah Love with not fully addressing this offensive line, because they just brought in Daniel
running back
Falele from the Ravens, who Ravens fans were getting on him like no other this season. So I hope that's not the answer at guard, right? So if you're going to pick a running back, you better have the line to go with.
Yeah, you can't run back the whole Saquon thing.
Yeah, absolutely
not.
I don't know. We're going to move it on, because drafts in 3 days. We'll have a lot of things to say about that come next week. But our About It of the week, favorite segment.
Here we go.
Let's get right into it, Rob. Who is your About It? What is your About It?
Oh, you guys are going to be surprised. I actually have something positive to say about the New York Yankees. My twin. Now, that is not self-proclaimed. That is other people have told me that I look like Ben Rice. My About It of the week is Ben Rice. 8 homers this season, with homers in 4 straight games. 2 off of lefties, by the way. 2 off of lefties. Play the damn man every single day. Okay, he's leading the league in slugging percentage, 800. Leading the league in OPS, 1276. And leading in on-base percentage. He's batting .338. Don't overthink it. Play the guy every single game. I mean, he is an absolute stud. Last year, it was all about how, his baseball savant, expected stats were through the roof. And statistically, it looked like this guy should have been one of the best hitters in the league, but his luck just wasn't that great. Well, this year, it's all coming together. I mean, he absolutely crushes the ball. He's so disciplined at the plate. They got to play him every day. I got nothing to say. If I see this man out of the lineup again because of some lefty matchup, he's actually hitting lefties pretty well this season. I think he's like 6 of 17 versus lefties this year. That's based off what else we're trotting out there on the other days. Exactly. So Ben Rice, keep killing it, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, 8 home runs. He had a home run in 4 straight games. What is he slugging at? 800.
Yeah,
OPS is at 1.2. Like, and his average is 338, I believe. I don't understand why the Yankees overthink it with these things, right? Like, even with Ahmed Rosario, just play the guys whose bats are hotter, right? It's that simple. I mean, he took 2 lefties deep. He's showing that he clearly deserves to be an everyday starter. It's not that difficult. They make it like it's rocket science sometimes, right? So I don't know. You play him. He's got the consistency right now. He's literally the best hitter in baseball right now. I feel like. I mean, this is what a breakout looks like for a young guy who he's not, I think, not a natural first baseman, but he's learning. He's learning that stuff behind Goldie. He's really a catcher, but he should be playing every day. Yeah, nonetheless.
You said it. This is no longer just like a guy in a breakout season. No. This is like a guy playing MVP level type baseball. So if he continues this over the course of the season, and you're telling me, so he's at 8 homers right now, so there's a chance he cracks 50. I don't know if he'll be able to keep up the pace. Like you expect a guy like Judge to hit 60 and keep up the pace. Maybe Rice gets over 45 homers, somewhere that 45, 50 range. Yeah. We'll see, what his RBIs are like then. If he can keep the batting average above, 300 by the end of the year, and he's playing every day, MVP type level stats. But
yeah, I was gonna, for a transition, we're gonna let you do your not about it as well. Mm-hmm. But for a good transition, I believe, you look at Judge and Rice. Mm-hmm. Judge is 9 home runs.
Yeah, he's at 9.
And
is it 9 or 10 now?
He's at 9. I think Ben Rice is at 8, right? Yeah. So they're at 17 home runs. Your not about it of the week is our crosstown rivals,
the New York Mets.
Who have, the full roster has a combined 16 home runs, less than those 2 Yankees. So I'm going to let you take it away.
Yeah. Before I get into the full rant about the Mets and how bad they've been, and you bring up the home run stats, and usually I'm a guy that's like, I don't really care about how many home runs you hit in the regular season because the Yankees always lead in that stat. I think it's like 5 out of the last 10 years they've led the league in home runs in the regular season. Doesn't really end up translating to any World Series. Yeah. But that is not how the Mets designed their lineup. The Mets did not design their lineup to have 16 home runs so far this year and be happy about it. The Mets have lost 11 straight games. Unreal. 11 straight games. By the time I edit this clip and get it out, they'll probably have lost a couple more. So we'll have to see. I'll try to get this out ASAP. But 11 straight. They're now 7-15, which is tied for dead last in the league with the Kansas City Royals, I believe.
Unreal. Just not unexpected.
It's disgusting. Other than Soto, who's been hurt, this lineup looks absolutely terrible. Lindor's batting .205. Bo Bichette, who was their big offseason acquisition after Alonso left, he's batting .217. They look absolutely terrible. Obviously, Frank the Tank, a lot of people know him, Mets fanatic. He says that the team has to fire their manager, Carlos Mendoza, today. Today is their off day, I believe. Mm-hmm. And that if they don't, they're basically accepting the fact that you're cool with losing. Because, I don't know, it's early in the year, but to lose 11 straight games with this lineup in an era of, in a league with no salary cap and all the money that you have spent on this lineup, to lose 11 straight is just completely unacceptable. And to me, I agree with Frank in the sense of if you keep the manager around, you're kind of just accepting it that, you know what, you can deal with it and you'll try to find a way through this. And I don't know. I don't care how early it is in the season. Fire the manager and try to find a new spark because you may get another guy with this team and lineup who's able to completely rally them and they may find a way, to go on one big run and then getting back into the playoff picture. But other than that, that is just freaking gross.
They asked Lindor yesterday, is it going to get better when Juan Soto gets back? And he, quote, said, even when he does come back, we've still got to get it done, and which would be unfair to throw everything on him, which is so unfair.
It's baseball. One guy's not winning anything. Yeah.
I can't believe that question was asked. But, you said it. Bo Bichette is hitting .217, right? I think that's 133rd in MLB right now. He's getting paid $42 million this year.
Yeah.
$42 million this year. His on-base percentage is sub-3s, I think .255. If I was a Mets fan, that would completely piss me off. That was one of their big signings, right? You let a guy who was a fan favorite in Pete Alonso walk, and you bring in Bichette, and that's what you're getting out of him? Like Frank the Tank said, this is the day to fire him. However, I feel like they won't do it because that went so viral, right? Because everyone knows how the Mets got to fire their coach or their manager. They're not going to do it because no one in that position wants to be told what to do, right? They want to do it on their own terms. So it's not going to happen. But unbelievable from the Mets. I just was not expecting this. I think they're one of the longest losing streaks in the last 20 years. Unreal.
Yeah, pretty tough. You got a not about it of the week, or
I know a not about it of the week.
Just kind of the Mets too.
And I have an about it of the week.
Oh yeah,
right.
I didn't give yours.
So the San Antonio Spurs, man. I mean, that playoff atmosphere. Oh my God, it felt like it was old school playoff basketball, where they kind of bring in the new school, where they kind of manufacture it, and they use that Spurs, a San Antonio Fiesta theme with the shirts, and you look at it. I mean, NBC did an amazing job with that game. You know, they're just showing all the angles. You know, the pregame, the warm-ups, I mean, the lineup. And at the end of the game, you know, the Spurs have their new ritual with the drum and the clap in the arena, and they took the time to let that go before they interviewed at the end of the game. It just, San Antonio gets it. They really do. They understand this stuff in the NBA. They don't just watch these games. They create moments, right? Like, what we saw yesterday is why people love playoff basketball, right? Everyone wears the shirt. The atmosphere is going. I mean, this is one of the best rebuilds I think we will ever see in the NBA. They got two guys on their team that won Rookie of the Year. Wemby is in his third season, and he's already a finalist for an MVP. He's 22 years old. I mean, they are my about it of the week. I mean, they've had a sellout streak, I think, of 300-plus games, one of the best in NBA history up there with the Knicks. The crowd noise loud that game. Just the whole vibe of that game was elite. I mean, a young team like that they will have around for years and years to come. I mean, as a fan, that's got to be one of the best feelings in the world. And they absolutely showed it, man. They after going to like being a bottom feeder team, you know, Greg Popovich struggles, and they showed it, man. That's what a rebuild should look like, and their culture over there is still intact. It's unreal, and they're a true contender.
It's funny, you and one of our boys said it in the group chat last night that there's going to be some old heads out there that don't like the theme of the T-shirts. Sure enough, Bill Simmons was not a fan of the Fiesta theme, which one of whoever he did the podcast with, wow, it's so bad I'm blanking on the name, but he was like, well, why don't you like it? And he was kind of like, well, act like you've been there before. You have 5 championships. But then the guy said, but what don't you like about it? Because every other team does T-shirt themes. They usually just do one solid color. So, like, is it like the multiple colors that you didn't like? I don't know. I thought it was sick. I think those T-shirt themes are so good for the crowd and the sport as a whole, because you get people to buy in, and it just makes them that more excited for the game. But also you can look at it from the perspective of it gives them a memory. Like, think about if you're a young kid and you have that T-shirt, you know, for however long you're able to keep it around. And it's just like always a memory, like, oh, remember when I went to the game with, you know, my family or my dad or friends, whatever, and they won this game. Like, that's such a cool memory for people. So I'm a huge fan of the T-shirt games. But sure enough, you guys said it, some old head was not going to be happy with it. And
I think
unbelievable.
My take, that is one of the most exhausting opinions or takes in all of sports. The act like you've been there thing. I can't stand it, because some of these guys have not been there.
Yeah, literally.
These guys have not been there. They have not been to the playoffs. That was Wemby's first playoff game of his career, where he actually broke a record, almost scoring I think the highest amount of points in a first quarter for a playoff debut. Mm-hmm. They haven't been there before. This is a new fan base.
New generation
of fans. I mean, what are we doing? Yeah, they've been there 10 years ago. That's not fair to people who, you know, grew up watching this Spurs team or watching this rebuild. And then, you know, we both went to that first Knicks game, or that game 1 of the Knicks playoffs 2025, where they went on that that 19-0 run last year versus the Pistons.
Yeah.
That shirt. I mean, I am so happy that I was at that game. I used to wear that shirt out, right? Like, that is something, that's a memory for me. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to, that's what sports are made for. It's entertainment. Yes, it's a game. It's a competition that's going on the court, on the field. But at the same time, it's about the fans. It's about the city. It's about the vibe and the culture that you bring. And the fact that we got act like you've been there. It's the same stuff we see in baseball. We watched the World Baseball Classic. The teams that were not acting like they'd been there before, it was amazing to watch, right? Like, that flair, that's the stuff that sports brings out of cities and out of a culture. Like, I don't know, man. That argument about, you know, keeping it, you know, Keeping it, I guess.
I don't know if he wanted it to be one color. I don't know what exactly
what is that?
he wanted. I don't know.
That is just ugh.
You think about like even this, like the last thing I'll say about this, like even like a city like Miami, and that is like the most, like you go to a game there, like when we went there, when we were there for spring break, like you see people like they could not care less about basketball. Like it's people going there in button down shirts. Like when Miami does the t-shirt themes, like everybody buys into that and actually wears the white t-shirt. Like to get people to do that, that's special. I don't know. I mean, talk about captivating an audience, a crowd, if you will.
Yeah.
Another way to captivate a crowd, Coachella this past weekend. I got a couple takes on Coachella. So
I think it's I don't know. The prices are insane. It's a music festival.
I don't know. I've never been big on Coachella, but some of the artists that went there this year and the performances they put on, I kind of understand why the prices are as big as they are.
No, yeah. I mean, Biebercella, watching those sets, I mean, it literally made, like, I felt nostalgic hearing those songs. You know, growing up, Bieber had all the girls going crazy about him, you know, I don't think most guys were fond of him, but then you know.
He had you shaking it, James?
You hear those songs and it's like, you just remember where you were, like elementary school, like, and those songs were just like, it brought back memories, man. It brought back some of the best memories, but his music is have you seen this argument though about, like, you know, the difference between how Justin Bieber performed the first weekend and like Sabrina Carpenter, how she has to put in so much more effort than him. And he's been doing it since he was a little kid, 13 years old.
I'm confused.
That's what I understand.
There's an argument. I thought you were going a different direction with that. I saw that people are saying that that it was actually, his performance was better in the second weekend because he knew that he'd get all like the celebrities and influencers on weekend one. And then the people who he'd get more fans like weekend two at Coachella. So that's why like people felt like it was a little bit better that. But I don't really know if that's like an actual thing. I just kind of saw that discourse. But Justin Bieber is one of the most talented artists I think we will ever see in the music industry. And I'm talking all time. Like I truly don't. And again, like you kind of said, growing up, it was like the girls loved him. I mean, I heard him probably every day in my car thanks to my sister. And then at the time, it's like, oh, I'm so tired of hearing this guy. But then you really think about it. Exactly. And it's like the fact he's still doing this and putting out elite level music. Like he's just truly one of the most talented artists that there is. Definitely of our generation. It's not even close in our generation. Like he's definitely up there. When you're talking about talented artists, you got to bring up Justin Bieber. And then the performance was awesome. Yeah, like I saw the clips as Long As You Love Me. Like that, I was like, damn, I feel like I'm back in the car going to like middle school, or I guess it would be elementary school. Like, and then he brought out Big Sean, he brought out SZA, like just unreal stuff from Justin Bieber. I don't know, I'm so over the take of like if you're a guy and you like can't listen to him because like you think it's like weird or whatever, like you think you're too tough for that. Like, okay, buddy, go take a hike.
Art is art, man. It's good music. It's R&B. It's pop. It's what you want. Like it's good music. I don't know. I don't. That's a crazy take, but he kind of also outsmarted the industry. I saw that, like how he did it as if he was doing karaoke with the YouTube in the background, because he sold, I believe, all of his music, or his whole catalog, to his past manager, Scooter Braun. So by him doing it as like he was doing YouTube or karaoke, like I guess none of the money went to Scooter Braun, which is awesome, which is pretty cool. Like, nice little loophole. But yeah, man, watching those clips is pretty awesome.
People don't even realize that. I saw people like shitting on him, saying like, "Oh, he's literally just putting music on the stage and then they perform."
That's
like,
what I'm
come
saying.
on, guys! Like he's smarter than this. Come on, we got like whatever. People don't realize it, but Coachella, yeah. So I got another take on Coachella. So Coachella, obviously, past 2 weekends. I didn't even know it was 2 weekends until like last week. I thought it was like a one kind of weekend thing, but so Coachella is basically just another Halloween for everyone. And I didn't really put this together because, and what I mean by this is on Halloween, people are able to dress however they want, how crazy as they want. And everybody says, and I'm going to use the term crazy because I think that's probably the most political correct thing to say here. And nobody says anything because, it's Halloween. And then it kind of hit me last week that it was like, wait, the same goes for Coachella, that people go there, and yeah, more so girls, wear whatever they want, and nobody bats an eye because it's Coachella. Like, it's literally just a Halloween 2.0 for the people that go there, and it's conveniently in April, which like seems to be the perfect middle ground between Halloween and then another Halloween. So I don't know. Maybe that's just been like a general thing that everybody has known, but I don't know. It just kind of hit me that it's like people wear whatever they want to Coachella, and then people are just like, oh, well, it's Coachella, so it makes sense. So it literally gave me Halloween vibes where it's like people dress up however they want on Halloween. It's like, oh, well, it's Halloween, so it doesn't matter.
I agree. It looks like it. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been to a music festival.
No,
they're awful. They really are. No, like if you're not sitting in, I guess, a VIP or somewhere where you can enjoy your time and the people you're with, it gets to, by the day 3 you're exhausted. And Skur, he's back there laughing because it's real. We were at Rolling Loud a few years ago, and
a few. Hold on, Martin. We're old now. It was like 10 years ago now.
No, the second one, New York, 3 years ago.
Oh,
yeah. We were seeing Future. Like first of all, I felt like the world was ending. They shut down the set. They flashed on the screen. Set is being clipped because of like circumstances, weather circumstances. I kid you not, it was a monsoon. The temperature dropped. People got sick. One of our buddies almost got pneumonia. Like,
oh my Lord.
It was unreal.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But no, by the third day, you're exhausted and you got to hydrate, which is, the Travis Scott thing and the whole, people just not being, hydrated and people passing away.
It does look exhausting, but that's what people were bringing up about how, like, I saw that was a whole other discourse about Coachella, about how, like, these influencers were leaving after day like 1 or 2, and then they were like, but people were so pissed. It's because like these brands are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on these influencers and plane tickets and tickets for the show and all this and putting them up, and you can't even stay the full 3 days. But I don't know, based off like what you have said about these other, like what you said about Rolling Loud, like it seems absolutely crazy. But yeah, I don't know if I'd really want to go to a music festival and just stand in a crowd like that. I would just be.
No, you would literally hate it.
All these sweaty people all like over me.
Secondhand smoke everywhere.
Yeah,
seriously.
The only one I would go, I don't know. The Bieber did look pretty cool.
No, because that's not like a crazy atmosphere. I will say the best thing about these festivals is you get to see a bunch of your favorite artists all in the same weekend.
Yeah.
I have a list of everybody I've ever seen, and like most of them come from Rolling Loud both times I've been, which is awesome. But at the same time, those 3-day events are a lot. My last thing about music, Drake.
I was literally going to say, if Drake did it, I'd go. Yeah.
I need it. The temperature's dropping. I know it's called Iceman. Who cares? He's going to find a way to pick up that summer vibe. It's dropping soon. The rap game has been a little weak these past 2 years. Drake, save the summer. Give us some great music. I know it's dropping soon. Come on, Iceman, please.
I got nothing. The GOAT's going to do his thing, man. I can't wait. The classic, got teased this past weekend that it was coming out. Yeah. Everybody lying.
Academics.
Apparently him saying that it's coming soon didn't mean, he made a whole other tweet about how that doesn't mean that it's actually dropping tonight, blah, blah, blah. Like, all you guys are idiots. Like, he went down this whole rant, but like other people said it was coming. I don't know. I don't know when it actually is dropping, but it seems to be very, very close. Drake's doing a lot of different stuff. We're seeing explosions. He's setting up sets. He's posting ice. He's measuring ice out. I don't know. It's coming. It's going to be fantastic. It's rumored to be some of Drake's best rapping that he's had in a while. I don't know. It's going to be great. Obviously, like you said, the rap game's been kind of dry. Everyone's counting on Drake once again to save summer. It's what he does. So, sooner the better.
Yeah, man. Long episode, but I mean, playoff sports, NFL draft. It's a hectic week in the sports world.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we see some good basketball tonight out of the Knicks. I feel like we should get a 2-0 start. Penguins, I hope they tie it up.
No, the Penguins got to tie it up. I mean, by the next time we record, potentially, some series might be over.
Yeah.
There's potential that series could be over, which would be kind of crazy. Like if we actually get a sweep in the first round, although the Thunder look bound for a sweep, and so do the Celtics. But we'll see what happens. Elsewhere might be some sweeps. We'll see what happens in the draft. If there's any, blockbuster trades come draft day. I don't think what else could possibly go on between then. But, we'll recap it all for you guys, no doubt.
Yep. Appreciate you guys so much for watching. Just want to give a special shout out to our producer, Oscar Navarro, back there.
Sir.
I am James Martin III. Sitting alongside me is Rob Cardini. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Hillside Club. Peace.
Thank you guys.